Hi developers, this video is a continuation of a previous video I created on how to add items to this list that we're looking at here, and we covered everything around adding a new item to our array and then updating our state with that new array. So if you want to watch this video first, you can go to the link in the description, watch that video on how to add items to the array and update your state with that newly added item. And then you can watch this video, or you can just watch this video where we'll be covering how to remove items from the array and updating our state with the new array, and then go watch the original video, which is adding items to the array and updating our state. All right, so as I said, in this video, we'll be working on removing items from the array and updating that array in our state with the latest removed city. So it's the opposite of the previous video where we are adding a new value entered by the user. In this case, we'll be removing that value and updating our state with the new array, which is the array without that one city that the user is removing. So if we take a look at the city list is the component rendering all the cities in the favorite cities array. If we go into that component, we'll see that we're passing on remove click as a prop for that component. And then if we take a look here, there's a touchable opacity here that's invoking on remove click, and then passing that item ID that we are attempting to remove. This is important when you are trying to remove an item from an array. You have to invoke a function and then passing the ID or passing a value that you can identify, so then you can remove that item from your array. So yeah, the first steps here are invoking that function and passing, in this case, we're passing the item ID. If we go back to app.js, you can see that the list of cities here contain an ID and the name of the city. So we'll be using that ID value to remove the city that we want to remove. All right, so we'll create that handle remove city function. And we know we'll be receiving an ID, as we saw from the city list component. We are invoking the function and passing the ID we want to remove. And now what we'll be doing here, similar to our previous example, previous video, we'll be creating a new list variable. And the key here will be to use a filter on our current array. So here we'll be using a filter on favorite cities. And with a filter, we'll be filtering out the ID that the user is sending to this handle remove city. In that case, we'll be filtering out the one that they click on remove on. And for that, we'll do city. And then we'll do a city.id where the ID is not the ID passed in by the user. That'll redefine a new list, or that'll filter out any values that are the city ID that we are sending to the function. And then with that new list, we already have a newly created list that doesn't include that ID that we're sending to the handle remove city function. And we'll just do set favorite cities and passing that new list. Now we have to take that handle remove city, and I think it was called on remove click. I'm passing the handle remove city to that on remove click. Let me double check to make sure that that is the correct prop. On remove click. On remove click. Now if we save and try to remove one of the items here in the list, we see that it goes away. and it's working as expected. So this exercise of removing an item from the array was very straightforward because we already have a foundation from the add CD exercise from our previous video. We already had a structure of how the array would look like. But the key here was to use the filter method from JavaScript so we can filter out the ID that we didn't want to include in our new list. So I hope you learned something new and you can apply this in your work project, personal project, or even job interviews. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.